LeBron has dreamed about playing with Luka Doncic for years. This is something he never thought, but he badly, badly wanted. When Luka was deciding where he was going to go within Nike, LeBron pressed him very hard to come to his shoe brand.
I wanted Luka to be the first signee of Team LeBron when he was going through his situation.
He was trying to recruit him then. He saw a vision of the two of them playing together.
I remember I talked to you about this on CBS Sports HQ last year at the trade deadline, and Lakers fans got very angry. But at the time, there was talk within the Lakers organization that LeBron James had grown a little frustrated with Anthony Davis.
Coincidence? I think not!
When it comes to recent NBA history, we've been accustomed to almost anything happening on and off the court. As someone like James Harden 1 week in Houston will look fat, out of shape, and on the verge of retirement. But the next day in Brooklyn, he'll look slim, fit, ready to roll, and the verge of a triple-double. When it comes to someone like Kawhi Leonard, he'll take a 1-year hiatus, come back, get traded, go to Toronto for 1 year, win a championship, then leave them. An absolutely wild story that broke everyone's brain. There's been tons of crazy events, crazy trades in just the last couple of seasons, but by far the craziest has to be Luka Doncic to the LA Lakers. And why this trade is so unique and so crazy is that once again, it came out of nowhere. When Durant got traded, we knew he wanted to be traded. When Harden wanted to be traded, he made it very well known he wanted to get out of town. And even looking at guys like Dame and Kawhi, they make it very, very clear from the jump they want out and want to be traded. This Luka thing had none of those earmarks and traits of those recent big-time blockbuster moves. Now, once the dust settled with this trade, the initial shock wore off, you start asking questions, just very simple questions, like how could this happen, why did this happen, and who really pulled this off? And I think the biggest indication something fishy went down with this trade, you had a lot of ESPN insiders, ESPN analysts from the jump saying LeBron James, he was not involved at all. It caught him off guard.
Man, stop playing. Bron ain't know a damn thing about this trade. Rich Paul probably ain't even know about this trade until it happened. Man, stop playing.
Had no idea. I can assuredly tell you it's a fact. LeBron James had no idea this was coming.
He is surprised. He is still processing it. And quite frankly, had no sense that the deal was coming.
I don't believe you.
So the idea LeBron James was involved with this, had any input in this trade, it was getting debunked from the beginning and being hammered home this guy had no involvement with the trade. And look, that could be true, it could not be true. But when ESPN analysts come out and they're making it very, very well known, they're hammering it home, this guy had no involvement whatsoever, I become more skeptical. And of course, when it involves LeBron James, who's known for wheeling and dealing behind the scenes, having input on the roster, I become very, very suspicious. As of course, looking at the Cavaliers, Heat, and especially the Lakers, this guy will toss teammates under the bus, toss them out like a week-old pizza. And in regards to Shams Charania, kind of the lead ESPN insider, lead scooper, this guy's motives and sources, I question very, very much. As looking at his background, he has some very clear ties to Klutch Sports, Rich Paul, as well as LeBron James. As Shams back in 2019, he signed with a sports agency called United Talent Agency, UTA for short. Now, UTA back in 2019, they partnered with Klutch Sports to form a sports division. Now, the head of that division, the CEO of that division, was of course Rich Paul, LeBron's right-hand man, and the head of Klutch Sports.
Interesting.
Now, connecting the dots very quickly, if you're an NBA insider represented by Klutch Sports UTA, run by Rich Paul, who you get your sources from, get access to, is largely dependent on those people like a Rich Paul. And to break it down really simple, Shams' overall value to ESPN, what he gets paid to do, is get info first, get it quick, and get it on the news in an instant. And of course, who's he getting that news from on a daily basis? That of course is Rich Paul, as well as Klutch Sports. So in a roundabout way, Rich Paul kind of pays Shams' salary via information inside sources and info nobody else knows. And of course, the good thing with Rich Paul, Shams' overall value is directly linked to him and his agency.
That's true.
And one of the obvious examples of Shams being fed information to push a narrative, it of course involves Russell Westbrook. As after the Lakers trade, him going to Utah, getting released, Shams said, quote, Westbrook had no spot left in the NBA. And ask yourself, why would Shams say that? Well, Rich Paul feeding this guy talking points that his two Klutch Sports clients, LeBron and AD, they're not to blame for the Lakers' disaster and their failure as a super team. I mean, that right there is clear-cut as it gets. This guy, in essence, is a whisperer for Klutch Sports and really does their bidding.
What is thy bidding, my master?
And I guess the one good thing for Rich Paul and Klutch Sports, as well as LeBron James, there's not really a smoking gun, a bloody footprint that says they were involved with this, they did this, or had indirect connection to these events happening. But the thing is, where there's smoke, there's fire. Around Shams, there's so much fire, so much evidence this guy is involved with Klutch Sports being a funnel for them. It just makes sense this guy would push narratives that benefit LeBron James as well as Klutch Sports. And once again, looking at the Luka trade, guys like Perkins and Shams really, from the jump, saying LeBron wasn't involved, he didn't know things, them being adamant he didn't know when they really couldn't even know that makes things very, very suspicious. So in a mafia-esque way, LeBron and Rich Paul, they kind of have their underlings do things, leak information, and leak talking points that benefit them. In a lot of ways, LeBron James is kind of the Michael Corleone of the NBA.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
And also, one big factor of this trade no one's really touched on, this is a massive jolt, massive spark to the entire NBA season. And quite honestly, the biggest thing that's happened on and off the court the entire year, and debatably the past 25 years. Look, I'm not saying Adam Silver is pulling strings, making the shots, saying this team has to trade with that team with this team. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, if you want the perfect storm, interest, buzz, drama, the entire circus, Luka to the Lakers is the perfect ideal trade in some fantasy universe. And in regards to the ESPN reporters and LeBron James had no involvement with his trade taking off guard, that could honestly be true. It wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, every narrative these guys spew is pro-Lakers and pro-LeBron. So ask yourself, why would this one be any different? The answer is, it wouldn't. And that's why I'm very, very skeptical, very, very hesitant that LeBron James had absolutely no involvement, no knowledge with his entire trade. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. The Shams, Rich Paul, LeBron connection, something is definitely there. Will we ever know how deep it goes? Probably not. In regards to the Luka trade, there's so much stuff that's not known. You know, nobody knows anything. Shams, the insiders, LeBron, the Lakers, nobody knew anything. I mean, that right there, I have a hard time believing. This Luka trade, possibly the biggest trade in NBA history, the juiciest hook in a long, long time. I mean, Luka Doncic, a 25-year-old superstar, going to the Lakers out of nowhere. That is the biggest scoop you could possibly have. But somehow, nobody knew it, nobody knew it was coming. I don't buy that entirely. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.